Hey guys, what's going on? This is Lucas here, and if you're a subscriber... Hey guys, what's going on? This is Lucas here, and welcome to my channel, and if you're a subscriber, welcome back. I noticed that 5 subscribers have left. I don't think that's in part due to the challenge that I set down. I think that's just that they realized that they were subscribed to me, which, fair. But that kind of just reminds me that for this challenge, a video every day until my birthday. This challenge is going by the measure of time from Arizona. So it's Arizona Standard Time between 0000 and 2400 hours military time, essentially. So from midnight to midnight in Arizona Standard Time. That's the measure I'm using. So if it seems like I missed a day, or if it seems like I double posted, that's because of the difference in time zones, because I'm not uploading at a specific time each day. I'm just making sure that by the end of a day here in Phoenix, at least one video will be uploaded. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about today's subject. It is a TBR. I can't remember the last time I actually did a TBR, but I really want to get back into it, and there are a few books that I want to read and a few books that I want to reread as well. And so I just want to show you guys those really quick and just go through those. Alright, first up on the new reads, this is the only non-fiction book on the entire list, and that is Atomic Habits by James Clear. Now, if you've seen my other videos, you can probably guess that this isn't completely a new read. I've actually read probably about 10% of this book so far, and that's what this tab is right here at the top. But I want to finish it, so I haven't fully read it yet, so I'm going to read through it. And Atomic Habits is basically about the same sort of thing Kaizen was talking about, where tiny incremental changes can cause a huge improvement in your life or cause a huge change in things just by doing a stepwise change every single time, just changing a little thing. And so that's a very interesting idea, and the anecdotes that I saw in this book were pretty good so far. So yeah, look forward to hearing my thoughts about this. I'm sure I'll have nothing but good things to say about it. Alright, now on to Fiction Land. I'm going to be reading To Sleep in a Sea of Stars by Christopher Paolini, the person who wrote Aragon. This book caught my eye because I didn't really like Aragon, but I like space and I like sci-fi, and this book, from what I gathered, is a first contact book, and I love those with all my heart, first contact novels. And look how thick it is. It's like thick with 2 C's. Yeah. And basically this person finds a relic, I suppose, on a distant planet, and this relic ends up being like a really harmful thing, a harmful alien, I guess, and that kickstarts humanity to do something about it. I'm probably doing a terrible job of explaining it, but that's what this book is about. So I'm very interested to read it. I love first contact novels. I love sci-fi novels. I haven't been reading as much because of just, mental health things and school previously, but I'm now out of school, so I have a little bit more extra time, and just been in a reading slump. So I'm back to it, and yeah, this is the next book I'm going to read. Next up on my new reads is going to be 2001: Space Odyssey. This is a classic. This book was made in concordance with, is that the right word? In concordance with the movie, and they came out pretty much simultaneously. So Stanley Kubrick and Arthur C. Clarke worked closely together on this book, and I don't know how, but somehow Arthur C. Clarke ended up getting the author's credit for the book after it got published. Kubrick, obviously, for the film. So this is essentially a novelization, but they live side by side. So I don't know what to make of that. And essentially what happens in this book is that they find a relic, I think it's the monolith, they find it on the moon, and that causes humanity to go on its first deep sea, the fuck? Their first outer space exploration, and spooky stuff happens along the way. And they're joined by the infamous HAL, the AI that is running the ship, that threatens the crew of the spaceship. And also, it's like, are they human level? Is HAL human level intelligence, or is HAL above humans, or whatever. That sort of stress comes from that. And so I'm interested to read that. I still haven't seen the movie though, so I need to revoke my sci-fi nerd card. Next up is Survive the Night by Riley Sager. This is a thriller that takes place, I believe, over the course of one night. And it follows the story of Josh and Charlie, these two characters, as they take a joint ride from their college campus to Ohio. And so this is about the road trip from then to there. Charlie's the main character. We see it through her POV, and she doesn't know this guy too well. She doesn't know whether or not this guy could be a serial killer, or this guy could be not what he seems. Because Charlie wants to get away because she encountered a murder of her best friend, and so she wants to go back to Ohio just to chill, and I believe Josh is going back to Ohio to look after a sick father, or so he says. But you don't really know who this Josh character is, you just know that Charlie is the main girl, and she is in the passenger seat with this guy, and so that sounds really tense. I haven't started reading it yet, but that sounds really intense, and I've been aching for a good thriller to give me ideas for my own thriller novel that I'm writing. No spoilers, though. Alright, that goes for the things that I haven't read before, and now on to the things that I have read before that I just want to do a reread of. The first thing, Ringworld. Now, I did not do this book the correct justice it deserved when I did my first review on it. I got a few things wrong on it, and I was a little misguided with my approach, I think. I think that I should have handled it more objectively and handled it more in the frame of when it was written. I believe it was written in the 70s, question mark? Exactly 1970. So I didn't think of it when I read it before in the context of 1970. I read it in the context of sci-fi nowadays, sci-fi in the 2020s and the 2010s. And I think that was to the book's detriment as much as it was to mine. So this definitely deserves a reread from me, and I need to give it the justice that I think it deserves. I still don't think it's going to be one of my favorite reads of all time, but I think viewing it through that new lens is going to do me well. So basically, and to just summarize the story is that these four people, this old guy who's like done a bunch of genetic stuff to make himself look young, another human, an alien with two heads, and another alien who looks like a Khajiit from Skyrim, all kind of hobble together in a spacecraft and head to this Dyson ring that is out into deep space. And it's just an anomaly because they don't know where it came from, they don't know who built it. And so, under the helm of the puppeteer, the two-headed alien, the four of them set out to this ring world to discover and to adventure. And so yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that again, and that's that. And the last book that I'm going to be rereading is The Miracle of Mindfulness by Thich Nhat Hanh. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. The late author, God rest his soul, he wanted to make something accessible to non-Vietnamese people as far as meditative practices go, and so he had someone translate his teachings into a book. And this book is very small, but it goes through a lot of meditative practices, just studying mindfulness, just being present in the now, not future thinking, not living in the future and not living in the past, but sort of experiencing things, even if it's like chores, or if it's eating, or if it's talking, or if it's fun things, or if it's anything. Just being mindful, being here now is what this book is about, and he wanted to teach people about that. And so there are a lot of exercises in this book, which I greatly appreciate. I mean, I was expecting this to be just sort of a report on different stories, on things, like different ways in which mindfulness was discovered, or different ways in which it was utilized, but actually it's got a ton of exercises in here, and I've used some of these to great effect. I've actually read through this book about 11 times, so I could probably recite parts of this book to you verbatim, but I think it's worth another read because it's just so short, and it's just like when you read it, you see something in yourself that wasn't there before, and you see something in the pages that you didn't see before. And this is one of those books where every time you come back, you see something new. Because it does have those stories in addition to just the exercises. It does have the relating stories to the narrative of mindfulness. In fact, one of the stories might warrant its own video in the future that I might do, so stay tuned for possibly that. Not gonna promise anything, but yeah. So yeah, that's my TBR. That's only about 6 books. It's not that many books, but it's definitely more than I'm used to, so it's a little intimidating, but I'm excited to get started on it. I'm excited to start reading the new books and seeing how I like the first contact aspects and the introduction of alien species into there. And I'm looking forward to going back to the old books and seeing if I can do Ringworld better justice and learn some more things about mindfulness that I didn't see before. So, on that note, I hope you guys are all having a wonderful and fantastic day. Please like the video, comment, and subscribe if it catches your fancy. This is Lucas, and I'll catch you later.